Welcome back, boys. Week 13 recap. College football is all FUBARD. We had a dramatic final week to the fantasy season, as we always do. Some may have said it was a little quiet, but that means you didn't look hard enough. You look deeper. There's a lot of big statements made heading into postseason play. So without further ado, let's get into it. First game up, we had the Philadelphia Giant Cheekles taking down the Pams, score 169 to 157 to give the Cheekles their first ever division title, winning the East Division and playoff appearance. And here to tell us how it went down is team owner of the Cheekles, Blake Kostas himself. So Blake, welcome to the show. Give us a breakdown on how you were able to pull this one out and capture your first ever division.
Thanks for having me, guys. Big fan, first time caller. I want to start off by giving at least half of the Kiffin over to Cleas. He has his best week of the entire season and misses out on the Kiffin by just over 2 points, I believe it was. So props off to Cleas Mafia out there. As far as our week went, big hitters make big plays. And this week, Justin Herbert, Jonathan Taylor, and David Montgomery did what we signed them to do. Montgomery, coming back from injury, has his best week of the season with surprisingly only one touchdown. He put Chicago on his back in their loss to Arizona. Taylor's doing Taylor things after last week, only getting 2 touches in the second half until that final drive. We kicked our OC to the curb, traded him for a bag of peanuts, and put the water boy with the clipboard, and he got Jonathan Taylor back to where he is, 30 carries, 140 yards, 2 tutties. D-Hop's coming off of his injury, so we were just happy to get double digits out of him. Good to see him get the touchdown in his return. This week was a little scary for us coming in. We were down DJ Moore due to bye. We were down Deebo Samuel due to injury. And the Pams have been formidable this season. We knew how much was on the line, and the boys did what they needed to do.
All right, Blake. So I gotta ask, congrats on your marvelous season. You guys finished 9-4. You win your first division title. 9 wins. That's more than you've had in the last 3 years combined. This is your first playoff appearance. Do you think you'll be able to take this momentum and actually do something in the playoffs, or are you guys just going to be happy to be there?
I mean, we're happy to be there, but we're in it to win it all this year. We knew that we were in a rebuild the last couple of years. That's all it was. No big deal. We were in a rebuild. We got the pieces we needed, and we're hoping to take this one home. We were hoping to play Texas size in the first round. They're down CMC, and we got Taylor and Sanders on buys our first week, and it's potentially Deebo might not play as well. Should be a rough look for the first week for the team, but I believe that Taylor has a really favorable matchup coming into week 2 of the first round. Justin Herbert, just hoping that he can keep his momentum coming in, and we're in it to win it all this year.
Okay, my question has been bugging me the whole year. You found this fucking article. Where did you find the article? Apparently it worked this year. Like, where are these articles coming from that I don't know about?
So a couple days before the draft, or maybe it was a week, whenever Travis told we had our picks set, and I got the 4th pick, I knew that Najee was going to go number 1. He's the big guy coming out. And I knew that Gibson was probably going to go either 2nd or 3rd with Clyde. And then it came down to whether or not I wanted Dobbins or Montgomery. And I found this fantasy football, he calls himself a pro. He's not a fucking pro. He's a Twitter guy. And he wrote this blog. And he said that he thought that Dobbins was just going to have a down year this year, that they were going to start using Lamar's legs a lot more than they did last year, a lot more designed runs. And I listened to it, and I decided to go with Montgomery with that 4th overall. And, he took his injury, which kind of hurt the squad. But, we got Williams off of waivers, gave him a nice little contract. He did what he needed to do. And when all said and done, Montgomery comes back, puts in a solid week, clinches the division for us.
Well, whoever that guy is, I fucking hate that guy. I want to know who that guy is. Fuck him.
I'll go back through and see if I can remember his name.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, Blake, for joining us, and best of luck in the playoffs.
Thanks for having me, boys. I appreciate it.
Of course.
Of course. All right. On the flip side here, we had the Pams. They tragically got their third Lions Award of the season to cost them the division. You know, they get their first playoff appearance in franchise history, but it doesn't come without a little bit of disappointment on the side. There were some positives for them, though, this week. Javonte Williams, a nice 33 points without Melvin Gordon in the lineup for the Broncos. Cooper Kupp with a nice 27. Adam Thielen only got 0.5, and he's hurt. He's looking questionable for this week. We'll see if they're able to get him back if they're going to start the playoffs without him. And then George Kittle finally got the big day that he was made a keeper to go out and get. 2 touchdowns and 40 points for him. Just, really big day. Really the kind of day the Pams were hoping they'd get out of Kittle. But unfortunately, it would come at a loss as they just got out blitzed. But that's okay. They'll have a chance to redeem themselves next week. All right. Second matchup up. We have the Texas Size 10-4s taking home their first Lemp Award of the year, 106 points, as they fall to Leeroy Jenkins, who captures a tie for the best record in league history at 11-2 with 164 points.
Dude, looking at the top here, we got Tom Brady throwing the ball 51 times. God damn, dude. They just slung that rock all around there in Hotlanta this week, as they were starting to hear little rumors that maybe their pass game wasn't as elite as it was last year. And they said, you know what? Yeah, no, fuck that. Tom, you're throwing the ball 50 times. We'll shut those people up real quick. Other big performer this week, Jay Jettas, Justin Jefferson, getting to have a lot more of the target share with Thielen going down with the injury. Hopefully he can get back on the field very soon. I know the Pams desperately need him. I know the Vikings desperately need him as well. But Jay Jettas was able to capitalize on the increased volume share and put up a nice 36 points. And I mean, everybody else kind of played their role for Leeroy Jenkins this week. No like super low scores. A lot of teens. Both the running backs scored in the teens. Jalen Waddle in the teens. So overall, solid week. Definitely a great week for them going into the playoffs here. They're probably the favorite, I would say, going in to the playoffs this year.
On the flip side here for us, this was not what we want to see as a franchise. We are currently playing our worst football heading into the postseason, and it was highlighted by the fact that we got our first Lemp Award of the year with only 106 points. Our one positive was Stafford looked good again, getting 29 points, but it was against the Jaguars, so, what does that even really mean? And then the bad news, James Robinson, only 2 points, and Kelsey with only 4. Those were really the big anchors for us. Really made it hard to get anything going when 2 of our better players are only putting up, measly hand change. Hollywood also did not have a great day. Just no elite performances throughout, really. We got to fix that. We can't just show up, expect the other team to hand it to us, We got to play a lot better football going in the playoffs here, or else we're going to be sent home quick, and it's not going to be fun. All right. Third game up on the week. DeezeNuts getting a nice win, even though they will not be playing in the playoffs, but still a nice win to end the season. 133-115 victory over the GOAT KD. Oh, and
first things first.
Second Swiper Award of the year. Sorry.
Noah, thank you for being my dance partner for the next 4 weeks. We're going to have a lot of fun, maybe. But here we had Alexander Madison, who filled in very well for Dalvin Cook in the Vikings game, as he was able to rack up 24 points. And similar kind of building off of what we were talking about with Tom Brady and the Bucs in Leeroy Jenkins matchup, Chris Godwin just got fed targets in this one. 17 targets, a season high for him, 150 yards. Just big day from Chris Godwin as he was a focal point in the Buccaneers offense. I wanted to say Patriots there for a second. But everybody else here for DeezeNuts, you know, pretty solid week. Rams defense getting 20 points against the Jaguars. Always love to see that. But this team always anchored by the receivers, hopefully trying to get some of their running back talent a little bit healthier going into these next 4 weeks. But looking forward to dancing with you for the next 4 weeks here, Noah.
All right, very well said. On the flip side here, the GOAT KD. This was a rough one for him. Only 115 points, but they were playing in the toilet bowl anyway, so you know it's fair to question motivations heading into this game. But still, you know, you get a little too careless, you're gonna find yourself in the lake. Big problem for them. 2 starting running backs at the top here only combined for 10 points. That's just not gonna get it done. Keenan Allen had a good day, but he's just announced that he's out with COVID for the next however many days. He's not playing this week, so they're gonna be without him to start the toilet bowl. And then a few double-digit performances on the bottom, but it wouldn't be enough. And this team is definitely a lake threat. They better find a way to win quick. That's all you can really say about them at this point, because they have found every way to lose this year. All right. 4th matchup. Cleas Mafia. Big victory over Cleveland Steamers, 167 to 140. Cleas Mafia team owner Tyler, I'm sure he had a great weekend. Probably too great of a weekend if you ask me. But we'll save that for another time. But big performances from them off the top to get it going. Russ with 22 points. He's continued to look better every week since coming back from his hand injury. Classic Russ stuff, even though Seattle has not looked particularly great as of late. And then 2 running backs, Gibson and Jacobs, playing a game against each other is just a complete runoff, if that's the proper term. Both getting over 22 points. Big day for them. And T. Higgins finally doing what Tyler had hoped he would do all year. He got 28. Last week was the first time of the season he got north of 20, and he's now done it back-to-back. So I'm sure they're happy to see that. They've now probably have more hope that they won't end up in the lake this year, but they really needed this momentum. Big win over the Cleveland Steamers to force them to have their first losing season in league history.
I mean, I can't tell you after these past 3 weeks how happy I am that our season is over. These last 3 weeks have been so fucking annoying. You know, with the Jonathan Taylor 5 touchdowns, you know, first crucial week against Blake, to the Cam Newton 2 points last week, to, you know, Cleasby only showed up this year when he played us, dude. He literally scored double digits like half the fucking season. 2 best weeks were against the Cleveland Steamers here. But congratulations, Cleasby. You guys played well this week. But I do want to talk about this team a little bit. You know, I do fucking love this team. You know, if I could keep every single player on this team, if I could extend every single player, I would do it. Unfortunately, we can't do that. So some decisions are going to have to be made. But I love everybody on this team, man. You know, we definitely had a lot of shit not go our way this year, you know, starting 24 hours after the draft when we lose our first round pick, J.K. Dobbins. Hopefully, again, speedy recovery. Hope you're back next season. But, you know, that was a big loss. You know, we had big plans for him going into the season. You know, having that coupled with, you know, the worst stretch of statistical football Mahomes has played in his entire career, not doing a lot of Mahomes things these past couple weeks, especially during the crucial run of the year, to losing Bobby Trees, heartbeat of the team during the most critical run of the season. And then, I mean, we already talked about these last 3 weeks. You know, I thought this team fought the entire way, never gave up, fought to the bitter end. We ended up 3rd in the league in points. We actually ended up with pretty much, it was 1 point. We scored 1 more point than Leeroy Jenkins, and that dude had 5 more fucking wins than us, you know? So some things are just out of our control. You know, we controlled what we could control. I feel like we have a great process, a great foundation, a great culture, and a great group of people in our locker room moving forward. So a lot of things, positives we can take from this year. Some things we need to, definitely adjust in the off season. But we'll be back next year. You know, I think we got a great foundation in place, great culture that we've started to build here, and I can't tell you enough how much I fucking love these guys. You know. That's it from me this year. You won't be hearing about the Cleveland Steamers. Me and Noah don't matter for the next 4 weeks. So had to say my piece. Had to say my piece now.
So I guess we're just gonna skip over that part of the recap.
I'm pretty sure we don't even get like a game highlight. Like our scores don't even show up or anything. So yeah. We don't
You have to count it manually.
And fuck us, dude.
All right. 5th and final game. FaZe Cav also getting some much needed momentum heading into the toilet bowl. They got a big win, 154-144 over Francy Feast. For FaZe Cav, how they got this one done, no real big explosive scores. Charge defense did have a very great day, putting up 30 points as they dismantled the Bengals. But other than that, Devontae Freeman was the only one to get to 20, and everyone else was in the teens or lower. But no one was in single digits besides Chase Claypool. So you have everyone putting up solid performances. You know, it makes yourself hard to beat. And luckily they were able to get the win this week. They really needed this momentum to give themselves, feeling good that they won't go in the lake for back-to-back years, because that'd be even worse than just going in the lake, is having to do it twice.
Even though Francy Feast didn't get the win here, I do feel like this was a good momentum game for them going into the toilet bowl. As we've documented much throughout this season, this team has been hit with the injuries this season. They've been having to plug people in at pretty much, it seems like, every position. Starting off Kyler Murray, getting Kyler Murray back was absolutely huge for this team. Jalen Hurts has been very good throughout this season, but Kyler Murray is a much more dependable option week in and week out. And he definitely proved that this week as he was able to slice and dice the Chicago Bears, which doesn't take that much. But Sony Michel had a great game in Darrell Henderson's absence, as he was able to put up a nice 23 points. And then, Francy Feast this year, they always got the tight ends, dude. Tight end Rob Gronkowski with 2 touchdowns against Hotlanta as he put up a nice 20 points. Unfortunately for Francy Feast, their other tight end, Zach Ertz, wasn't quite able to get it going against Chicago, but I would imagine he would have a nice bounce back week. He's been a big focal point of the Cardinals offense, it seems, since he's been traded. But I think this is a good momentum game for Francy Feast, just for them to prove to themselves that, like, hey, we can score 140, 150 points. Like, we can get out of this, even with all the shit that's happened this year. We still have some people that can get us out of the lake. Like, we're not just destined to go in there. So hopefully a good building piece for them as they try to not end up in the lake this year.
Very well put. That is it for us for this video. We will have another 2-parter coming out later tonight to do end of season awards and the postseason preview. So make sure you come back for that. And yeah, we'll see you then. Nick, anything else you want to say about this past week?
Nope. We're all good here.
All right. See you guys later.